Hey there, Tracy here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how I made this gingerbread man card with a gift card inside. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, hey there again. So today we are going to be using the gingerbread stamps, brand new from Trinity Stamps. And I'm going to be using this swirling stars, or Starstruck stencil, also from Trinity. I'll also be using some Astro paste from Simon Hurley. I will have everything linked in the description box down below. So I'm going to take a piece of paper because I have learned that using Astro paste, I don't want to get it on my mat there because it's very hard to clean off that mat. So I'm going to place my stars kind of sort of down towards the left-hand corner here because that's where I'm going to be placing my action-packed dude. And I'm going to just go ahead and tape the stencil down. So I also, with Astro paste, do not like to use my sticky mats at all. And then I'll go ahead and tape this down, the stencil and the paper right down to my piece of excess paper. I'm using just some mint tape, which is from scrapbook.com. And here I've got the slippery when wet Astro paste. And I'm going to go ahead and open that up and then decide that I'm going to better cover the top there because knowing me, I will get it on there. And I'm going to spread my Astro paste on with just this little palette knife. And I'm just going to go basically mostly one direction, like frosting a cake. But I'm not going back and forth. I'm just going one way as I spread it down. And I'm not worried that there's excess because I can get the excess off and put it back in the jar. But I don't want to do a lot of scraping on it because I do want full coverage here. So I'll just keep adding more until I see that I have full coverage and it's fairly smooth. Then I'll wipe off my palette knife and I'll pull my stencil up. Now this is the way I like to do it so that when I try to get the excess off, I don't accidentally scrape my Astro paste off my paper. So I'll pull my stencil off very carefully so I don't smack that Astro paste everywhere. And then I'll pull the piece of paper off, our stenciled piece, and set it aside to dry. Then I'll lay my stencil back down on my piece of paper and scrape off the excess. And this way I don't end up accidentally scraping off my stars. And once that's dry, we'll continue on with the process here. And it's only going to take you half a second, but it'll take me about 30 to 45 minutes because I have it on there pretty thick. So here I've got my stamps, and I'm going to be using 2 of the stamps today. You'll only see me stamp out 1. And friends, I recorded my coloring, so I thought. So what had happened was I turned off my camera during the coloring and turned it back on while I walked away for 45 minutes. So I had 45 minutes of still footage. So sorry about that, but I do color it with my Ohuhu markers. And I do color the little inside guy with my Ohuhus too. I just had a heck of a time recording this video. And initially I thought I'm going to do this one for Trinity Stamps because I do also videos for their channel. However, I just didn't feel it was good enough. So I went ahead and took it for my channel and I'll make a better one for theirs. So I'm stamping him 3 times because I've never used him before, just to make sure I've got nice dark black lines. And then the next thing you'll see is him colored. So there he is not colored. And through the magic of the internet, there he is colored. I'll cut him out and everything off camera, and then I cut shadow layers of everything out of the red paper, the same red paper that I stenciled on. And I'm keeping the negative here so that I can stamp out the sentiment. So I'm going to center the sentiment within the black part of because mine is black never mind. It's an old stamp that I ruined before I knew anything about ink. So, but it still makes a great sticky mat. And so here's the piece, and I cut and colored it the same way like a cookie. So graduated color, dark on the outside, light on the inside. So it would look like a frosted cookie, and I will heat emboss that with white embossing powder. I'm just going to stamp down 3 times, and also I didn't film my actual embossing. I did film me pouring the embossing powder on. Sometimes, my friends, sometimes. So I'll go ahead and pour white embossing powder, and I'm using the Brutus Monroe Alabaster. And then just tip that off, and I will be embossing that off camera. Okay, so here's the inside of the card, and what I did was I took the 3 circles from the Emergency Card Essentials #1, and I made a cookie, so I made just 3 layers. And then I took my gift card and I outlined it on the inside so that I don't accidentally glue any part of that. And so I'm adding glue here, and then I'm going to add some strips of paper so that I've got just a little bit of height so that my gift card slides in and out easily. And what I'll do here is I will take, I think I'm going to use the red scrap just in case. So I'll grab the red piece of paper, and it lets me grab my gift card here, and I'm going to add a little bit of mint tape just to kind of hold it in place. And the reason for that is because this is circular shaped, I want to make sure that I don't get it in the, glue it down to the card crooked, and I want to make sure that I get all of my strips on the outside of this. So just kind of tape that down, and then I'll just start cutting strips from scrap. And so I've got this red scrap, and you can see there that I embossed the holiday hiya and hiya and the shadow layer there for my ninja that goes inside. And I'm just going to lay a double layer of strips down. Easy enough. Always fun to get a gift card. You could do, you know, could do one for like Mrs. Fields. Does that even exist anymore? Or, you know, whatever. You don't even have to do a gift card. You can just do the inside the way that I'm showing without the gift card. And pocket, you can just glue it flat down. So let's cut some more scraps here. I'm just using my little scissors, and I'm not really measuring. I'm just eyeballing. Because we're good at that, right? I really love this little Ninja Bread Man set. It's so adorable and so different. It's unexpected. I just have never seen anything like it. So that's what I really kind of like about it, is it's something quite different. And then I'll just go ahead and glue this down to the inside of the card. And I'm not going to add extra embellishments to this card because we have all that Astro paste. But see why I wanted to leave my card inside, so that I could get this so that my card's straight up and down. And then I realized it's hard to pull out of there because of the tape, but I'm going to manage because it's just mint tape. And then just lay this back down, pull my tape off, and still make sure that this card fits. You know, I bought these gift cards and I expected plastic, and they're made of paper. I was very disappointed. But I bought them off Amazon. So here's how I'm working the shadow layers. I'm just making them down and to the right, and I will do that consistently on the front and back of the card. I'll just lay him on his shadow layer. It just kind of adds a little bit of extra oomph, a little bam. Isn't that the cutest little face on that ninja with his broken candy cane? I don't know who thought that up, but they were just a genius. And then I'll glue down my cinnamon, and I'm just going to glue that one flat down. I'm going to use my tweezers so I kind of get it straight, sort of. I'm not a... It is what it is. If I don't get it straight, it's not straight. We'll live with it. And there, the gift card will slip right inside. And we'll pull the gift card out, flip it over, and do the outside. All right, so here's the outside piece. It's all nice and dry, and we've got our beautiful gold stars on here. I love, love, love that stencil. I'm going to be using it for my lifetime, all the time. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this down to, I'm going to go 3 3/4 by 5. And leaving it where most of the, where my stars are kind of still off to the left. Just to kind of, mimic movement. And I'll just trim off all 4 sides. So I've got a full panel there. And I'm going to go glue that straight down to the top folding card base. I could have done a matte layer on it. In hindsight, I probably would have, maybe a black one, but I didn't today, so there's that. I'm just going to add my liquid glue here, and I am using my PVA glue so that I have a little bit of wiggle room. Man, and once you stick that art glitter glue down, it's very hard to move your piece. You have to be quick, and I'm just not. So I cut an extra 110-pound cardstock layer of the little ninja guy so that he could have a little bit of oomph to him, because I am going to be putting him on an action wobbler, and I don't want him to get all bent up, all bent out of shape, because I had colored on, a little bit of a lighter weight paper. And then I'll go ahead and glue down my shadow layer, and let's just make sure this is all nice and straight. We'll glue him down to the shadow layer and get him popped up on there. It's kind of off a little bit, but not a big deal, not a huge deal. Okay, so we were going down and to the right. And that also gives a little bit more sturdiness to our little ninja bread guy with his ninja star cookie. And here I've got a small action wobbler, and I will struggle with getting the liner off. And with an action wobbler, because I know there's some confusion, but the way it works is the harder, thicker part that's not clear goes on your object, on your focal point, and the clear part goes on your card. And see, I do have a clear space in those stars, and that's part of the reason I picked them, for that to glue straight down and not be, crooked from glitter. So it's something to think about if you're going to do embossing or something like that on your panel, is to think about if you're going to pop your focal point up, or if you're going to, wobble him up, to make sure that you leave a space there to glue your action wobbler down. Otherwise, it won't stay glued down, and we need it to stay. That's all. So this is a card, and here's my sentiment all embossed, and I'm going ahead and glue it to its shadow layer. This is a card I would probably give to another mom, or grandma, because we know we do a lot of baking, and we are very busy during the holiday season. And so, that person, or grandpa, or father, or brother, or uncle, or whatever, that person could probably use a coffee. So, but depending on, the person you're giving it to would be the gift card, but it's fit for adults or kids. So that's what I like about it. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this up on some foam tape, and this is just a 2mm foam tape. It is from scrapbook.com. And then I'll also use some liquid glue to kind of peel that, to kind of make sure that I have movement on the card, and to make sure it sticks, because now we are sticking it to an uneven surface. And it's better to use foam tape if you're sticking to an uneven surface than not, because obviously the foam tape is a little more malleable than the paper. So if you press down on it, you have a better chance of more surface for your sentiment or object to stick to. All right, so, and I'm going to try and decide where I want to put this, and I kind of want to put it, catty corner. So it's our cookie sentiment, and you see me struggling with where do I want this. Okay, commit, go. There we go. That's it. That's the card. All finished. I thank you for coming and hanging out with me. So here's our little wobbler guy, and here's our inside where we can place our gift card. I don't know what I'm doing there. I forgot already. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. How do you feel about the Ninja Bread Men? And here is a still, or some still images of the Ninja Bread Man gift card. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.